Here, the Biden administration is open to a plan that would block sunlight partially from hitting the Earth to help with global warming. Now, I know this seems like a conspiracy theory, but it's not. This is a news story that's happening. It was a report that was commissioned by Congress.
Well, sir, you've certainly vanquished all your enemies, the elementary school, the local tavern, the old age home. You must be very proud.
No, not while my greatest nemesis still provides our customers with free light, heat, and energy. I call this enemy the sun.
Crazy.
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. I will do the next best thing. Block it out.
Aurora Borealis. In fact, some of these solar storms can actually disrupt and even damage technology on Earth. The Carrington event happened in the year 1859, stands as the strongest observed solar storm in modern human history. Now, that caused a lot of problems. It's back when we had the telegraph, but we almost had one in 2012. Earth narrowly missed that one. So if or when it happens, a solar storm that impacts the globe could become a $2 trillion disaster because it is a magnetic energy that comes through with these storms, and that's where we could have problems. If it were to occur,
they be saying 2 trillion though, like that's the shit that be blowing me though. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like $2 trillion, like y'all be giving that away to other countries like it ain't like y'all giving away candy.
There have already been multiple experiments, I've heard this from several insiders, in which they take ordinary folks and they put them into a room and they zap them with the energy that our sun is going to give on when we go through this change and become very blissed out. They start to get really telepathic. They can move things with their mind. Everybody kind of goes into a psychedelic trip. Our government knows that this is going to happen, where there's no veil left, where we are wide open to reality.
Different UAP events that have happened. We can also go back and look at the Rendlesham Forest incident, but it's also now part of the legislation, the health effects and frequencies. Well, if we go back and just think about what the NSA was pointing out in this report, they are talking about communicating at these specific frequencies, and it's been the focus. And all of this seems to be connected all the way through.
Now, in the NSA document, it talks about frequencies, which could represent numbers, symbols. A symbol could represent a complete idea. Could it be possible that a person tuned to the right conscious frequency could kind of entangle with these messages and in some way discern them?
So how does telepathy work?
The entire body functions as a tuned vibrational system which transfers energy in a range of between 6.8 and 7.5 hertz into the Earth's ionosphere.
Right when people was like, oh, telepathy, whatever, it's not real. Look, they got documents on this. They've been researching this for hundreds of years, maybe even longer, y'all. Welcome back to the coolest channel on YouTube. Look, slide on in. Make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Let's get this video right here to like 20,000 likes, man. Make sure you share with your friends and family. You know, look, man, we're gonna continue to grow together. We're gonna continue to know together. Just know if you're going through a tough time out here, man, just know we're going through this thing called life together. You never in it by yourself. We all go through things. But look, man, positive vibes only. Don't skip a thing in this video or you will be lost in the sauce. But look, man, have y'all been noticing that they've been spraying the skies even more? You want to know why? That's because we're going through solar flares and we're getting gamma radiation and all these other things that's coming from the sky. But, you know, they've been told us they was going to block the sun and everything else like that. But look, this video right here is going to take y'all to some places. But brace yourself and embrace yourself for, you know, change. You know, we've been all programmed to, you know, hold on to things that are not true, but this is for us like-minded people, us free thinkers, and this is the free people from limited thinking. But look, let's pay attention, man. Let's tune into this video and let's get it, man. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what state you're in or what country you're in, and let me know if they're spraying. I'm interested to know if you're in another country where they're spraying at. Let us know in the comments down below. Just know, together we rise.
Okay, I want you to take a look at this right here. The Biden administration is open to a plan that would block sunlight partially from hitting the Earth to help with global warming. Now, I know this seems like a conspiracy theory, but it's not. This is a news story that's happening. It was a report that was commissioned by Congress. They say that, scientists say actually, the process is known as solar radiation modification, and it's somewhat geoengineering with the climate. Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about things like this, but Congress releasing a report about this. Now, the Biden administration, they say they are open to doing more research about this. They're not sold on the plan, but a lot of people are saying, many scientists are saying that messing with nature and the way the environment works may not necessarily be a good thing at all because you don't know what you're going to get. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Very interesting that Congress has come out with this plan. It's a news story happening today. I'm Dave Bondi, not really giving my opinion much on this, even though it is a little strange. Leave your comment below and follow me. Hit the plus symbol right over there on TikTok.
Well, sir, you've certainly vanquished all your enemies, the elementary school, the local tavern, the old age home. You must be very proud.
No, not while my greatest nemesis still provides our customers with free light, heat, and energy. I call this enemy the sun.
Crazy.
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. I will do the next best thing. Block it out.
Good God.
Imagine it, Smithers. Electrical lights and heaters running all day long.
But, sir, every plant and tree will die. Owls will deafen us with incessant hooting. The town sundial will be useless. I don't want any part of this project. It's unconscionably fiendish.
I will not suffer your insubordination. There has been a shocking decline in the quality and quantity of your toadying, Whalen, and you will fall into line. Now!
No. No, Monty, I won't. Not until you step back from the brink of insanity.
I'll do no such thing. You're fired. Take that, Smolderama. Take that, Convenient Smart. Take that, nuclear power plant. Do fiddlesticks.
Pay attention.
Lights, though, when it comes to the aurora borealis. In fact, some of these solar storms can actually disrupt and even damage technology on Earth. The Carrington event happened in the year 1859, stands as the strongest observed solar storm in modern human history. Now, that caused a lot of problems. It's back when we had the telegraph, but we almost had one in 2012. Earth narrowly missed that one. So if or when it happens, a solar storm that impacts the globe could become a $2 trillion disaster because it is a magnetic energy that comes through with these storms, and that's where we could have problems. If it were to occur,
they be saying 2 trillion though, like that's the shit that be blowing me though. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like $2 trillion, like y'all be giving that away to other countries like it ain't like y'all giving away candy. I wonder why. We're gonna get into that.
Might take a decade for us to recover. Some of the destruction of communication infrastructure could bring about the end of the internet. You heard me right. This idea was actually explored by a UC Irvine student. She researched the potential in her paper entitled Solar Superstorms, Planning for an Internet Apocalypse. One of the greatest dangers facing the internet with the potential for global impact is a powerful solar superstorm. Well, the federal government has actually assigned a team of scientists at George Mason University $13 million to study this potential internet apocalypse and keep us away or help us prepare for dealing with some sort of solar storm that could cause this. Let's bring in the principal investigator for the project, Professor Peter Becker is at George Mason University. Peter, solar storms causing the internet apocalypse. That sounds like a worst case scenario. What does it look like?
Yeah, well, as you pointed out, it's been in the news a lot lately. There have been articles all over the place, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post. But yeah, the idea is there have been a lot of flares. Flares are when the sun brightens and we see the radiation. And that's kind of the muzzle flash. And then the cannon shot is the coronal mass ejection, as you mentioned. So we can see the flash, but then the coronal mass ejection can go off in some random direction in space, but we can tell when they're actually going to head towards Earth.
Homeland Security is warning of a potential troubling escalation in tactics from right-wing extremists. Catherine Herridge has more on this, and she joins us from Washington. Catherine, we understand the power grid could be a target?
Good morning. According to the intelligence report obtained by CBS News, these groups have developed credible and specific plans to attack the power grid since at least 2020 as a way to disrupt the country and the ability of government to operate.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
Now, my question is, like, do y'all think that, see, the thing is it misdirection once again? Are they trying to, you know, sabotage the grid? But we also do know from this channel, if you watch a couple videos back, it shows that we actually have power. The power grid is older than what you know, and it's not what you think it is. You know, it's just being harnessed a different way and shown a different way. And the technology has been wiped from the past in order to suppress the future, in order to make money. But let's keep going, though. It's crazy. So which one y'all think it is? Let me know in the comments down below. Are they going to sabotage it, or is it going to come from the sun?
Welcome to the latest edition of the daily blocking of our local sun here in Florida. Today was a day unlike many others that started with a clear blue sky, and I actually commented that we might actually see the sunset today. But alas, fools, fools, they said, never shall we see the sunset. And a few hours before it started to set, the lines started to be drawn. Only in the east sky, though. Lines all across the sky blocking the sun that spread out into these strange patterns and shapes, and even colors. I have to point out that the west sky stayed perfectly clear. As usual, nature just decided to put airplanes across the sky that draw lines only in the east sky to block out the sunset. It's hard to imagine when you watch this daily for yourself that there are still people who will still argue that this is all natural and harmless. And to those people,
every single drop of rain is now contaminated from the North Pole to the South Pole to the top of Mount Everest and everywhere in between. Not opinion, theory, conjecture, or hypothesis. Extensive testing, proven fact. First headline from cleantechnica.com. Cloudy with a chance of plastics. Microplastics are everywhere. Quote, the average person inhales a credit card amount of microplastics every week. That's according to new research, which also states, quote, the plastic we breathe in stays in. Nanoparticles are extremely bioavailable and bioaccumulative, easily absorbed and extremely difficult to expel. For the record, polymer nanofibers are a primary element listed in climate engineering patents. Here's one example. U.S. patent number 631521B1/EN. Method of modifying weather. Abstract. A method for artificially modifying the weather by seeding rain clouds of a storm with suitable cross-linked aqueous polymers. The polymer is dispersed into the cloud, and the wind of the storm agitates the mixture, causing the polymer to absorb the rain. This reaction forms a substance which precipitates to the surface below, thus diminishing the cloud's ability to rain. And who cares how bad it contaminates the environment? Climate engineering elements like aluminum nanoparticles are desiccants, thus diminishing and dispersing precipitation as well, which can then be steered to other regions where it comes down in a deluge.
Of course, all of this is for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that video. Leave your comments down below. Like, comment, and share for more. Let's get this shift.
Does that seem like something that's coming from a god or a beast? Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Why would they risk everything to do that? For deeper reasons. A lot of people out here still sleep, sheeple. It's crazy.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
For the second time in 30 years, an impossible particle has struck the Earth. Scientists are calling this particle Amaterasu, which means sun goddess in Japanese. And it's about 10 million times more energetic than anything we've ever made at CERN. So what is a cosmic ray? How do we detect them? And why is this one problematic for physics? My name is Jorge, I'm a physicist, and we're going to talk about it. 99% of cosmic rays are baryons. That is their nuclei of some sort. Of these, 90% are protons, 9% are alpha particles, which are the nuclei of a helium atom, and then the other 1% are comprised of other types of nuclei. Cosmic rays have many sources, and they have a broad range of energies. Behind me is a plot that shows this. Here we have the flux density, like how many we expect to see at a given energy, and down here we have the energy. These bands, gold, blue, and purple, tell you where they come from. The gold ones are from the sun, the blue ones are from our galaxy, and the purple ones are from outside the galaxy. The sun produces many cosmic rays, and these are passing through you any second. Our accelerators can make particles up in this energy range for reference, and so this is consistent with the kind of particles we see coming from our galaxy. The one that we saw in 2021, Amaterasu, which has just recently been analyzed, was way down here in energy. This is 10 million times bigger energy than anything we can make on Earth. If you look at how often we expect to see these, this is many, many billions of times smaller than the rates at which we get from the sun. Cosmic rays travel very close to the speed of light, and when they come into our atmosphere, they slam into matter in our atmosphere and create a cascade of particles as shown behind me. This cascade of particles can include particles that are actually moving faster than the speed of light in our atmosphere, and they produce light of their own. And this can be detected by photomultipliers that are spread out across a vast array. By correlating the detections you get across different sensors, you can start to backtrack to figure out where this cosmic ray came from. This kind of detection is called indirect detection. If you want to detect these things before they cascade, that would be called direct detection. You would have to do this at very high altitudes or in space. We've backtracked many of the intermediate energy cosmic rays and traced them back to these purple regions in our galaxy. So why is Amaterasu a problem for us? Well, when we backtrack it, it points to a region in the sky that doesn't really have anything there. Nothing that could produce a particle of this energy. There's a thing in particle physics called the GCK cutoff, and it says that these cosmic rays traveling at these high speeds lose energy by virtue of their interaction with the cosmic microwave background radiation. I have a couple diagrams here that show the main modes of resonance that cause these protons to lose energy. This implies that the source of these ultra high energy cosmic rays needs to be within about 300 million light years. If we backtrack one and we don't see something within 300 million light years, it's a mystery to us. In order to make particles this high in energy, you need a catastrophic event. Active galactic nuclei, merger of black holes, merger of neutron stars. We do not see this in the direction from which Amaterasu came from. This is a great opportunity for physics and science in general. If you've made it this far and you like physics and science content, consider following me.
So we all know about this guy and his agenda to block the sun. And if we follow this very powerful book that we call the Bible, then shouldn't the Bible allude to this? Joel chapter 2 verse 31. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. But let's zero in on the sun shall be turned into darkness. Oh, okay. Interesting. Bill Gates' venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. What could go wrong? You all know the saying, as above, so below. Well, let me give you a new saying. As physically, so spiritually. Psalms 84:11. For the Lord thy God is a sun, S-U-N. Just as the sun provides life for all things, so is the Most High God. As they want to block out the physical sun, so they want to block out the spiritual sun, the Most High, allowing darkness physically and spiritually. Like
I have no idea how to drive without texting! Why can't I post this video? Hello. What did you say? Why aren't you looking at your phone, you psycho? Why is no one liking my posts? Well, I hate all your posts. Hello. Hello. Peter, Lois.
See, a lot of people lose their mind because they don't have a mind of their own. Like,
by Casey Reeves, sent in by Spencer from May 17th of
Check it out.
2023. Check this out. There's some sort of a anomaly over here in the sky near the sun. Look at that thing. How about that? You don't see something like that every day. And we're going to go in and take a closer look at this sky, this anomaly that's in front of the sun, and the sun is back behind this thing. Look at that. That is super bizarre as well. Looks like a giant beehive in the sky. And again, the sun is behind this thing, and it's the only thing like it in the sky. And you can see it's moving with the sun. Notice it's in a different location than the first photo. Look at the first one is away from this tree line here, and you're going to notice in the second photo, this anomaly, whatever it may be, seems like it's following the path of the sun.
putting y'all on game. What is it blocking? What have we been talking about? Come on now. Like, it's crazy. It's right there in our faces. It happens over and over again.
Watch how close it is to the tree line in this next image as we come to it right here. See, it's almost touching the trees, not literally, but it's behind the tree line in this photo, indicating that it's moving through the sky with the sun. And again, the sun is back there. We just saw photos of dual suns in the sky from Kentucky and South Dakota. And then we
want the world to know that we are very, very close. And all the people on the inside know this. This is the key of disclosure. We are very close to some sort of energetic shift that the sun is going to do. There have already been multiple experiments, I've heard this from several insiders, in which they take ordinary folks and they put them into a room and they zap them with the energy that our sun is going to give on when we go through this change, become very blissed out. They start to get really telepathic. They can move things with their mind. Everybody kind of goes into a psychedelic trip. Our government knows that this is going to happen, where there's no veil left, where we are wide open to reality.
Think about it. We building.
So y'all, I've been thinking, what if that thing that everybody's arguing about, that thing that's supposed to help prevent that one thing that we're all going through that we can't really say out loud, what if that thing was like an X gene suppressor? And they were like rapidly trying to suppress the X gene from everybody. Like all the crazy shit that's happening and all the awakenings. What if it's people's like X gene starting to awaken? And at some point it's all supposed to start happening. And the world is like, yo, we gotta suppress this shit. And that's what that thing is. And all those who've gotten it so far have had their X gene suppressed. Damn.
The sun is giving out massive unexplained radiation. It's actually radiating gamma rays, and this has scientists baffled. They have never seen so much energy radiating from the sun before, and they have no idea how or why it's happening, which has resulted in them launching new probes in order to find out. I just wonder what effect this might have on Earthlings, especially those who are quick to get angry, like myself.
This is why they trying to lower the population and block the sun. They understand as the sun get hotter, we get stronger as long as we out here sunbathing. And it's going to charge up your veins, which is called gamma radiation. If you got green veins, like what Shah Jamal said. Take a moment to read that. Alright, moving. So as that sun get hotter, we're gonna be like this. And like this. Cause that sun gonna get so hot, it's gonna send out mass electromagnetic waves to charge us up like that. And then if they mess around and make us mad, we're gonna be strong like this. Bro, and these won't even hurt us no more. We won't even be scared of these, bro. We're gonna have skin strong as this, bro. We come out here and take the sun. You see how the trees is so thick and strong. And when you punch it, it hurt your fist. Cause they out here all the time, getting in the sun, connected with, on the ground. Then, not to mention, we're gonna be getting mass downloads and learn more magic. You mess around, we're gonna turn you to a roach, boy. Black kings and queens on top. Peace out to gods and goddesses.
So how does telepathy work?
The entire body functions as a tuned vibrational system which transfers energy in a range of between 6.8 and 7.5 hertz into the Earth's ionosphere.
Right when people was like, oh, telepathy, whatever, it's not real. Look, they got documents on this. They've been researching this for hundreds of years, maybe even longer, y'all. documents have been released. Look at some of the stuff that Snowden released too as well. These are not like conspiracies. It got put on the internet. It got exposed from the source. You know, but it is what it is, man.
Cavity.
Keep your eyes
That
open.
is set to resonate about the same 7 to 7.5 hertz.
This is occurring at a very long wavelength of about 40,000 kilometers, or just about the perimeter of the planet. In other words, the signal from the movement of our bodies will travel around the world in about 1/7 of a second through the electrostatic field in which we are embedded. Such a long wavelength knows no obstacles.
Naturally, it'll go through just about anything. Metal, concrete, water, and the fields making up our bodies. It's the ideal medium for conveying a telepathic signal.
Go look those documents up for yourself.
Talking about frequencies and the ability to communicate at certain frequencies, and also how those frequencies may affect us. Now, this is something that is now being brought out in the Senate Intelligence Committee. It's been talked about with different UAP events that have happened. We can also go back and look at the Rendlesham Force incident, but it's also now part of the legislation, the health effects and frequencies. Well, if we go back and just think about what the NSA was pointing out in this report, they are talking about communicating at these specific frequencies, and it's been the focus. And all of this seems to be connected all the way through.
Now, in the NSA document, it talks about frequencies, which could represent numbers, symbols. A symbol could represent a complete idea. Could it be possible that a person tuned to the right conscious frequency could kind of entangle with these messages and in some way discern them?
This is where we can look at ancient cultures, Hermeticism, alchemy, and what that represents today in the modern world of physics. As above, so below. Everything is connected. Every positive, there's a negative. So if these things are possible, and science today says that they are, and there are people throughout history that have the ability to channel, to communicate, to receive messages, to send messages, then we have to look at somebody like Philip K. Dick and his ability to not only write about alternative history, a parallel world, the multiverse, and channeling. It's one thing to write about it, but where was somebody like Philip K. Dick getting this information? And he specifically talks about the ability of going into these worlds. And he wrote about this many times, including not only The Man in the High Castle and alternative history and alternative worlds, but in Valis. And Valis was a 3-part book series. But what is important about Valis is he was writing about something that he probably didn't know anything about, which was the Black Knight satellite. And Valis was a satellite space probe that was brought here, orbiting Earth, that was channeling information down to the United States government.
After talking to Jimmy Church today, I had an amazing epiphany. First of all, he touched on the fact that the NSA has documents that actually
really need to ask yourself, why in the hell would they have a World War III with all the nations when the clones have already taken the whole entire Earth? America, Israel, China, Iran, North Korea, Russia, all clones that overtook all the lands from the indigenous people of the lands. There is no World War III. It's all fake. They're just lying to y'all. There's only one war, the Great War, the Elohim War.
And you gotta understand too, like understand, like what I've showed y'all. What came out of the horse's mouth, they said that they have a problem with the African Americans over here, while they're over there, quote unquote, fighting the war. Just keep putting it together, y'all. They're doing it right in front of our faces. You understand why?
That's the only war that's about to happen. This is why Russia broke off from the Antarctic Treaty, because they're the only smart country. They basically telling the Elohim, we ain't with the rest of these Neanderthals. The Jewish people own the media. 90% of every single news stations are repeating the same damn thing. It's all propaganda. They're just trying to hide the true Elohim not coming here to play around with none of these clones. They're gonna take everything back forcefully and then push everybody back into their own prospective districts. Now, I already know there's a lot of good clones out there that have good hearts now, but it's too late for all that because as a collective, y'all are fucking over the indigenous people of the earth. This is what mankind needs to understand. The Elohim not about to come here and individually judge you away from the rest of the people. Y'all will all be judged together as a nation of clones. Do you really think the Elohim will let y'all go throughout the universe propagating the same agendas that y'all do here on this earth?
Think about it. I be way ahead, bro. Like I told y'all about the Putin situation like years ago, like this point. Well, like a year maybe or more. About the Putin situation and why and who he had an encounter with. We gonna rehash some of that stuff too. Like, but pay attention though. Don't get in your feelings about none of this information. You know, decipher for however you want to. I'm not pushing nothing on you. I'm just putting it right out here for everybody to see.
Of government. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, in order to understand that this psychological operation is being facilitated by a fallacy, right, between Israel and Palestine, right? Because in order to implement a new system, you got to create a technocrat system because you cannot have a new world order unless it's based on the technocracy. So this is why you have the mobilization of the United Nations military factions, which is the foundation of the unspecified minor military construct army. That's the foundation of DARPA, which is a Defense Advanced Research Project agency that's connected to FEMA, the military industrial complex, and the World Economic Forum. So this is all based on mind control and frequency warfare. When you understand the biological defense mechanism for psychic analysis to where they can upload your thoughts on the cyber cloud, right? So in order to get people subjected on a lower thought form and a lower frequency that's based on mind control, you got to jumpstart it with a fictitious war, right? You got to create a psychological operation in order to implement that technocrat system that's basically a new world order form of imperialism. So all basically regimes and organizations that's part of the Canaanite system. So no matter how you look at it, you know, when you understand the dynamics of these secret societies, you will know that they basically work in conjunction when you're talking about the Canaanite system and the Zionist regime. They're, you know what I'm saying? They're basically one and the same. So they may have a different perspective, but the end goal is still the same thing. So that's how you know that it's being, these wars and everything is being facilitated by somebody behind the scenes, right? So you got the Masonic family map, right? You got the York Rite, the Scottish Rite, Red House and Blue House, right? 13, which was the precursor to the solar eclipse that took place on my birthday, right? Because the 13 is basically the Queen Mother seat, and the Queen Mother seat is the divine feminine energy, and the divine feminine energy is to revert the planet back into supreme balancement. So this is why you have the sun and the moon in conjunction in alignment with the star Polaris, which creates this tetrahedron energy, right? The unification of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, right? To reset everything that was facilitated by patriarchy, because patriarchy is the foundation of imperialism and theocracy, which threw off the spiritual equilibrium of the planet, right? So now, this is important because it tells you that the wickedness of the eagle, aka America, has reached its limit. So the Gentile, Gomer, Esau, the Philistines, because I told you the Philistines and the Palestinians are basically the same people, just like how the Zionist regime, the Khazarians, are actually Canaanites, right?
You're asking yourself, why did
I
Putin
actually
leave?
found it. I finally found.
Ask yourself, why did Putin leave? That's because, remember that warning video that I made over a year ago with the KGB? Everything is starting to add up. The math is just like mathing like a motherfucker on there, right? Like, but just let me know in the comments down below where you at with it. How you feel?
Found it. Footage exists.
With community, ain't about me.
UFO disabling a nuclear missile. And I just happened to come across this video. I wasn't even really looking for it. I just stumbled across it. If somebody really faked this video, they didn't do a good job putting it out there because it's nearly impossible to come by.
Right.
The cities of Antarctica do not exist as long as they are not seen. But you get through the frequency fence, a whole new world opens up. This past weekend, frequency fence went down, and it almost all of Antarctica, mainly New Swabia. Believe it, this is Antarctica. Grab the popcorn. Frequency fence down.
In today's transmission, we're going to be talking about how Pluto in Aquarius is a transit archetype that's based on the appended connection of the dark side of the apocalypse, which means to reveal what is hidden in the occultic language, because that energetic vitality has the power to manipulate timelines by taking us into the golden age, right? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, everything we're going to be talking about tonight is really just based on the future events that's going to be taking place as we're talking about Pluto in Aquarius, because Pluto in Aquarius is basically the foundation of transformation, right? Because they know that the energetic vitality of the planet is connected to the unity consciousness of the planet. So that's why they want to use sustainable development goals to combat that same energy by merging humans with cybernetics to create a cybernetic dictatorship, right? Because based on quantitative analytical data, right, when the sun is at solar maximum, that's when Pluto is in Aquarius. So that's where you get an influx of energy that's coming from the magnetosphere, which is the cosmos, which is basically the abode of the Most High, to where you tap into the spirit of Melchizedek, right? That green Ethereal energy. When you're talking about the Sufi order of the sons of green light, right? Because that green light is going to spark the Christ consciousness on the planet. So that's why they want to use artificial intelligence to combat the energy of the chosen ones on the planet, right? Because technology locks down DNA. Now, when you understand the foundation of the supreme mathematics of the universe is connected to the Fibonacci sequence of the planet, which is connected to nature, which is basically the magical equation of the universe, right? So the Fibonacci sequence is acclimated to the mathematical concept of everything on the planet. So when you're looking at these Freemasonic time capsules, right? Everybody who's into the esoteric knowledge, everybody who's into the esoteric metaphysical codexes, when you see years, we actually see letters. And when you see letters, you actually see numbers, right? Because there's a hidden message behind everything. So this is a time capsule in my city, right? I need you to understand something about these time capsules. These Freemasonic time capsules are basically in alignment with the Draconian star constellation. So when you break down the etymological roots of the word Draco or Draconian, right, it translates in Greek to the word rulers. And the rulership in itself is basically subjugating the consciousness on the planet with, you know, certain architectural alignments and monolithic structures. When you're talking about these time capsules, and everywhere that you have a time capsule, right, is where you have these solar eclipse exhibits that's going to be taking place. When you're talking about the solar eclipse
At the closing of our last conversation, you said an Anunnaki emissary approached President Putin with an ultimatum. I'd like to start right at that point. Do you remember what was the ultimatum?
Yes, like I said, this villainous race has ability to instantaneously transport from one location to another via a nexus of portals that only they can see. Anunnaki appeared near the MOD and demanded to speak with President Putin. I am foggy on some details, but what I know is this. Arrangements were made between Putin and Anunnaki to meet at Putin's mansion on the Black Sea coast near the village of Paraskovivka. At this meeting, the Anunnaki delivered the ultimatum. Leave us alone, we'll leave you alone, or else perish with the rest of the world.
Wow. So what you're essentially saying is that the Anunnaki offered Putin peace in exchange for, shall we say, agreeing to participate in a non-intervention agreement?
Something like that, but
now you got to understand with that. All right, so we're going to address a little something. Why do you think that Putin does not want to be in the Antarctic Treaty? He wants out. It's shit is aligning, and this guy right here that gave the interview, we did this a while ago. He was unalived after giving these interviews and stuff like that. You know, that's why he's smoking 1 million cigarettes in the videos. The nigga was stressed out. Okay, but a lot of people, you know, you got to understand when you come out and you start speaking, you put a target on your back, but you have to be brave at the same time. You have to understand who you are and what you're here to do, living your purpose. You know, we're all going to check out at some time, but this is just the body. We are not the body. But at the end of the day, though, you know, does it make sense? Is the mathing the reason why he ain't with the shits no more? He understands, and I guess that's somebody that really wants to protect his people. That's why he's disclosed a lot of information that was hidden from the people of this land here. He's disclosed a lot. Everywhere around the world, they have our artifacts. It's a reason why, y'all have to understand this stuff. It's a reason why we have the most pyramids here, and they don't want to talk about it, and they want to hide it. They don't want to let us in the Grand Canyon. They don't want, they cover up, you know, the mounds and the different pyramids here with dirt and objects and stuff like that, and stuff that's not inhabited. They want to keep away from that. It's a reason why we're not populating certain areas, y'all. But let's get back to this video, though.
Putin could spark territorial free-for-all in Antarctica by threatening to rip up the treaty? The Antarctic Treaty? Wait, the treaty that stops everybody from independently exploring Antarctica? That's right. Word on the street is that this guy's looking to hit the Antarctic ice wall in one way, shape, or form. And what are these guys wearing? What in the world does that look like? The Freemason compass and square? Probably nothing, right? But you may be asking, well, who cares? Who cares about the Antarctic Treaty? Like, who cares? Who wants to go south? There's nothing out there. What if I told you that Antarctica's not a continent? It's actually an ice wall that encompasses us. If you didn't know, people have already demonstrated this. Captain Cook and also James Clark Ross circumnavigated the Antarctic wall 60,000 miles. It took them 3 to 4 years. And yes, Antarctica being an ice wall doesn't make any sense on the heliocentric model, so you obviously got to throw that in the trash and realize the Earth might be level with hills and valleys, and water suggests that. It's, you know, 70% of the surface of the Earth is water, and you think it's just curving 8 inches per mile squared around an oblate spheroid? But there could be something really crazy going on in Antarctica. Buzz Aldrin seems to think so as well. We are all in danger. It's evil itself, and does that look like a pyramid? For everyone wanting to read the Antarctic Treaty for the first time because they've never looked into it, here's the first page, second page, and my favorite, the third page. The provisions of the present treaty shall apply to the areas south of the 60th south latitude. This black line right there. Unless you get special permission from the government, you better not try to go past that, you'll die. But if you're still not convinced that Antarctica's an ice wall, look into Operation High Jump, and also, think about it. The North Pole is in water and the South Pole is in ice, but during the December solstice, the South Pole should be getting about the same amount of light as the North Pole during the June solstice. So like, should even out, they should be like pretty similar, like have the same amount of life, but at the North Pole, there's tons of moose and stuff running around, and in Antarctica, there's nothing. I'm gonna use this picture as a visual representation. I don't think this is like 100% accurate on how it looks, but this could be what's going on past the Antarctic Circle right here. Yeah. Guess we'll just have to wait around and see what happens, won't we? But if you guys are bored while we're waiting around, I do have a podcast. You can check it out in my link tree in my bio, top button. We've talked about the heliocentric model and dismantled it for like 2 hours. Check it out.
And these people inside the Hollow Earth have been living there for 2,500 years. There is one continent inside the Earth and one ocean. Their capital city is built around the original lost Garden of Eden. The vegetation grows like a paradise. The people live to be up to 800 years old. They communicate with telepathy. The inner Earth people have built these androids that fly their flying saucers out to reconnoiter the outer Earth. Our government has been knocking flying saucers out of the sky and back engineering these flying saucers. The people that live in the Hollow Earth are not extraterrestrials. They're from the lost tribes of Israel. These people inside the Hollow Earth have been living there for...
Now, you heard him said that these people are not extraterrestrials, that they are from the lost tribe of Judah, or Israelites, right? As you can see right here. And just for further proof on this, and they are all, yeah, every single one of them. So the reason why this is important is because these people will never tell you who you are, my people. That was your job. One of the most important things our ancestors told us is know thyself. Know thyself, because they will never tell you who you are. That was your job. It is in your DEA or DNA, whatever you want to call it. It's within you. Their job is to keep you from knowing who you are. Meanwhile, throwing hints in movies and TV shows. But some still don't pick it up.
This is the brass section. Yeah, I know. I was noticing that you're kind of hanging out a lot with Kyle lately. Is there a problem with that? No, I think it's amazing. It's awesome that someone like you could be okay with someone like him, given all the new information lately. You know, the stuff that's come out about how the Jews stole the black race's identity? That the lost tribes of Judah were actually all Africans? You didn't hear about this? Black people are actually the Jews and people like Kyle have taken that from them? Stop talking to me. When the Jews came to America to escape persecution in World War II, they found that blacks were already the underclass in America. So they had to invent a story for themselves which they could make everyone believe because Kyle runs Hollywood.
The reason why it's funny because Kyle is Jewish. Jew-ish.
Kyle runs Hollywood, token.
Look, they putting that shit in everything, y'all. Like right in our faces, just playing with our top.
So I was on Twitter this morning and saw this post. Go on Google Earth and try to get a measurement of Antarctica. It won't do it because it's a ring around us. So naturally I ran straight to...
And if you haven't seen this, I brought this back up for the purposes of, you know what, you see what it's going into. It's crazy. It's crazy when you really look at
I
it.
screen recorded everything I did. I sped it up because I really wanted to capture the shape of this wall. I mean, continent. Like, speechless. So while I was sitting here pondering all this and being speechless, I went, holy shit. No matter where you set the points, it always had these little spots, or a spot, missing. North Pole. Kind of like a little missing puzzle piece. The missing piece of the circle. Anyways, it's all a big conspiracy theory anyways.
Is the math mathing? And a lot of y'all think that, oh, you know, we can fight. We don't know what's coming, what they hands be like, and you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna fuck around and find out. That's what this next sequence is gonna be. Watch this. Yeah, y'all think it's gonna be all right, bet.
Take another step closer.
Round 1, fight.
Wanna work. Going down, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how you feel like you want to be, right?
When Martin got beat up in the fight.
This how you gonna end up. You gonna fuck around and find out. Oh man. Hey, that's how you go fuck around and find out. You feel me? Everybody brave until they get punched.
All right, very important video here. And before I play this video, I want your guys' opinion. And before I continue TikTok, this is for educational purposes only. Everybody needs to know the truth. We are in the age of Aquarius, which is the age of truth. Now I want you to listen to this guy because he says there is a land confiscation coming soon, where the land will be confiscated from the invaders and given back to its rightful owners. Now here's the question to the invaders that is on our land. How do you feel about this? I really want to know. I really want to know what are your thoughts and concern about this when it comes to pass. It's not if, it's all a matter of when, because this land has to be given back to the original people. And for the fact of the matter, they're only trying to give us back our land. They're not trying to give us back our gold, our artifacts, our names. We already got history coming out. So what more can you guys keep from us? But let me play this video and let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, and share for more.
But this is where we're at right now in the end of 2023. We're in the next phase of the communist takeover of America. And where this is going, folks, is eventually we will reach the point of land confiscation. They will pass a slavery reparation law. And the government will say, Washington doesn't have the money for this. And Washington didn't do this to the black people. The white people did it. We are going to have to nationalize land owned by white people.
Don't think they can't do it.
I'm
Other
telling you,
nations
my
have
friends,
done
I'm telling you this is the plan. They're going to pass a national reparation law that requires the confiscation of land owned by white people as just compensation for slavery.
it. And the whitest of the white are MAGA followers.
Trump, white Christians who voted for Trump. They will be the very first ones to lose their homes, their farms, their ranches, their businesses.
You see, you really got to listen to these slick people talk, because you heard what he said, right? He said has a communist takeover. Most people, when they hear the term communist, they automatically attach it to a negative connotation. The word communist was established in 1841, as you can see. But the word communist comes from the word common, which was established in the 1300s. And this means belonging to all, own or use jointly, okay? So he's making it seem like the communist takeover, it's a bad thing. But the word communist comes from common, meaning it belongs to us. This is our land. This guy is doing nothing but adding more fuel to the fire in order to incite emotions, because they know what's coming. They know they cannot stop what's happening. This is coming from the highest order, because if it wasn't meant to be, then why is it happening? So let me know what y'all think. Leave your comments down below. Share, like, and follow for more. Let's get this shift.
All he's trying to do right there is for my good souls out there. I don't care what color you are. This type of person is trying to scare you. This type of person is trying to make you hate your neighbor. It's trying to make you fear your neighbor. That's fear mongering. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what that is. That's the divide that we talk about. You know, like I keep saying, we were all taught to hate each other essentially, strategically in the system. in the school system. So that's why, you know, once you learn and you understand and you know, and you raise your vibrations, I believe that we all can make a shift. But, you know, it's going to take us collectively to, you know, clean this shit up, because, you know, I take a lot of blame because I was a part of the indoctrination and I felt certain ways growing up and stuff like that. I had hate in my heart at certain periods in time, but, you know, we grow past that. We grow up. You know, but it is what it is. You know, this is the information, and we see that it's happening. I'm gonna show y'all in these next clips right here. You know, you can disagree with it or not. It's the information, and it's happening right before our eyes. So just prepare yourselves on all parts, everybody, you know, for changes. And one thing like that you learn when you learn in the professional world, one thing that people hate the most, it's like a change of leadership. It's all about change. People hate change because you get comfortable. But, you know, we're going to have to do it at some point, because what's right is what's right. It is what it is, you know.
Get in here.
Check this out.
Everybody gather around. I got a gift for you. I got a gift for the peoples who donated to my Cash App. I'm about to give them a gift of a lifetime. But you see this Google Drive? Whatever I give you, make sure you put it on your drive ASAP. It's that serious. So I told a lot of people that I was going to give them one of the biggest gifts, right? And this gift has something to do with court documents that I normally don't give out. So I want to give it out to the peoples who donated their tools and fuse. And in this court document, it tells a lot about your history, who's involved in your history, even the schools, even the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Everybody's involved in this document, what I'm about to give you, only because you donated to the Cash App. Now, copy this number, take a screenshot, please, ASAP. Take a screenshot, and as you can see, bam, got something to do with that, right? As you can see right here, take a screenshot, please. Now, as you can
5 civilized tribes, y'all. Just pay attention.
see, this is the only 2 places on the internet that you can download literally the whole document that got something to do with us that was hidden in history. You can't find it on the internet, so don't even try. You can only go here, ASAP. Now, in this document, if you go close right here, and as you can see, it literally go all the way back to 1902. It go all the way back to 1901. And as you can see, Black Indian descendants, and it talks about entitlement to land allotments, money, and everything you wanted to know. Everything you wanted to know. As you can see right here, it talks about the 5 tribes, right? And if you go up here, it's called the Harvard Institute of Freedmen. Plaintiff, Department of Interior. You go to judge right here, Robert. And as you can see, they try to dismiss the case. So once you read this, it's gonna blow your mind on how much we is owed. And it's about to make sense why you're trying to give us just $12,000 a month. So let me give you a little commentary before I continue.
You talking about the $12,000 a month, which I showed y'all a minute ago, was the Snyder Act. The Snyder Act. I don't know if y'all looked that up. Let me know in the comments down below if y'all looked that up. But that's what they're trying to give you. But it's much bigger than that.
Basically, they try to hide who we are so they can wait till a certain amount of time and take the land. But what they did is actually messed up. Because when Dr. Martin Luther King did the public law 90284, it actually put us back in the right status under the treaties. Okay? So under the treaties. So what they did or tried to do is say we were African American. So now it go back, if you clearly read, I don't know if you can see it, that's why I said it tried to put us under custodian and fiduciary relationships with the so-called 5 civilized tribes. And we even get compensation for damages, right? It's a lot in, oh my God, it's so much stuff in here. You're going to need about 2 hours to read all these documents. And you're going to need all these documents. And I'm telling you, I love you. When you read it, you're going to come back and you're going to be in my inbox, or you're going to come to this page and you're going to say, thank you for this gift. And you can even say that you discovered it because you got the documents. And when you read the documents, it's going to blow your mind. So now ask yourself, who built all these pyramids? Who built all these mounds? Who owned all the land and still in the Lodio title? We do. So now you're about to find out clearly why Washington, D.C. closed down, Britain closed down, and those who call themselves the Jays going through what they're going through. Because we still prisoners of war. But when you read this document, you're entitled to a lot of bread, my friend. And this is what I'm thinking. Wherever you stay at, whatever home, you own that home and you own that land. Because we ain't get the 40 acres and the mules. Once you read this, you're about to understand we're rich, baby. We're rich. So if you like this, donate to the Cash App, please.
He said that this said donate to the Cash App. I'm gonna donate to my boy. Hey y'all, go shout his Cash App out, man. Look, that's crazy, but look, that's definitely crazy, man. Definitely look at the information, man, and decipher it. I'm talking about people from everywhere, so we all can know the truth. The more we learn, look, I'm that type of person. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I love the truth more than I do getting along with you. I'd rather us speak the truth and get it out. I'm the type of person, I could be friends with anybody that's on the same frequency as me. It don't matter what color you are. That don't matter to me. It matters where you at right here in your frequencies. Where you at? You know, if you can't speak the truth around me and be yourself, authentically you, I don't want you around me. I don't care for your energy, and you're invisible to me. Essentially, you know? If you can come around me and speak your truth and be who you are without having to say weird shit to me about, oh, do black people like this, or do like stop saying stupid shit like that to me. To us. To each other, all of us. Let's stop being weird. Let's just be people. Like, what the hell is wrong with everybody? Why we got to tippy toe around everything? You scared of hurting people's feelings with the truth? It's crazy. Be you. You know what I'm saying? And that's for everybody that watch my videos. And I do appreciate y'all. It don't matter who you are. Be you. Okay? That's my message. But don't be afraid to come on here like they speak your truth and be who you are. We're not here to be friends with everybody. Like-minded people, you know?
Stop the press. Stop it. Look at Putin. Putin is showing who the Negroes are. When you go into Russia, they never took our murals down. These murals are from the Black Russian Archives Church that you can see when you go to YouTube. Putin was showing the world who we are. He wanted everybody to see it. But if you notice, the American cameras, they took the camera and they dropped it. When you go through all of Europe, all of France, all of Germany, all of Italy, all of Russia, all of the European nations, and the Americas, you're going to find out something. That the so-called Negroes or Moors only mean that you're black. Moors ran everything, and a lot of these Moors were Jews. Some were Sephardic Jews, and some of them were other type of Jews, but these Jews or Israelites ran what you would call the European nations. That's why when you go into Germany, they find bodies that are thousands of years old, and these bodies are so-called Moors. And when they go into Britain, Britain just means sons of Isaac. That's exactly what it means. Britain, when you get a lot of these names as Johnson, McKeever, and McDowell, you would think that these names were actually European. But you got to remember, these people were in the Caucasus Mountains. They didn't even speak English. These so-called Negroes and Moors taught them English, and when they came later in the 19th century, they basically took over all of Britain, France, Germany from the 11th century. After the 19th century, they took over everything. And what they did, they different.
But listen, get your ass in here and sit down. You gotta see this. What the fuck? Hold on. Y'all get y'all ass in here and sit down. Now, I know y'all sick of me with the moon, but you gotta see this, okay? From the naked eye, there's nothing but the moon in that street light. But when I zoom in, look next to the moon. I know y'all see that damn face.
I see it.
Please tell me somebody else can see this. Please tell me somebody else sees that. Holy shit. Oh my God. Look at this shit. Coco, you gotta see this shit, girl. Girl, look at this shit. I know y'all sick of me, but please tell me is my eyes playing fucking tricks on me. Holy shit. What the fuck? What does that look like?
Look like,
Doesn't it look like, look, a mouth,
Yeah, I know
two
what I
eyes?
see. It's an alien.
It does look like an alien face. And I know I wasn't going fucking crazy. Look at this shit. Look at this. Oh, shit. Girl, what the fuck?
Now with this right here, I was looking at it. I'm like, all right, bet. I see what she talking about. It's not defined, but look, y'all know how we do over here. We gonna build, and it's gonna get even more weird.
What the Listen, it ain't no fucking camera tricks, no editing and none of that. Girl, look, stop with all that shit. Look at this shit. Somebody watching us, and that's all you can think about. It is a... Moon lovers and moon skeptics. I got a doozy. Now, this dude claimed that he seen something by the moon, and he zoomed in, and boy, you gotta see what he's seen. And everybody in the comments seem to be going along with this shit, so I don't know. You be the judge, because if this is real...
Right.
This gonna be some problems. Hold on. Roll the footage. Oh shit.
Yeah. This is from a different angle.
Baby, I'm going to tell my mama. You can see the outline of it. Now y'all know damn well that cannot be real. Then again, we've been getting surprise after surprise on this here earth. I don't know what to make of it. And it don't help that he has gaming TV in his in one of his ads, but you know, of course that doesn't make you lose credibility or anything. Get y'all this out of here. And take him with you.
Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that one in the comments down below, but we gonna build.
You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. That's the face.
I'm kind of freaked. I'm kind of spooked.
Yeah. I've seen some wild in my life. This is the case. Some faces.
this was around the time. This was around the time when we was hearing all of those birds and stuff, you know, chirping at night. I don't know if it's still going on, not here, but I remember that because it was happening at night. The birds were up at night all of a sudden, being super creepy and weird. But I'm not saying that the footage is real. Y'all let me know in the comments down below, like, how y'all feel about that. How y'all feel? I think it could be edited with CGI, but is it something that they pass along? Is it a filter? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. That's why we here as a community trying to figure these things out.
So I was scrolling through TikTok tonight and just going through, and all of a sudden I see some lady talking about how the moon is missing. And I'm like, whether you're a globe or a flat earther, how do you not realize that the moon has phases? I just feel like that's common sense. Okay. But anyway, I saw another person say it, so I decided to pull out my star finding app. And I looked, and the moon and the sun are exactly lined up right now. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Whether you're on a flat or a globe, or someone should be talking about an eclipse, but that's not happening. So what I did, and you can see, this is my star finding app right now. It's lit up for the sun, and at about 11:11, it lines up perfectly with my dresser. And then I go and I switch to the moon. And the moon, you can see what phase it's in right now. You shouldn't be able to see it. That's an actual thing. But at about 11:11, sun and moon are going to be perfectly lined up. And why are they not talking about an eclipse? Thought that was weird. And then even if you go to a different app, this is a flat earth map. It's David Weiss's app. The sun and the moon are lined up. So someone should be talking about an eclipse. And I know, you know, us flat earthers, we realize not everyone can see that, but if you're a globe earther, you should be on the other side of the earth.
But David, tell us more about how you are going to make the moon disappear. How are rehearsals going?
And then this.
They're going well. In fact, I've been testing them the past few months, and people have reported seeing strange things in the sky at night all around the country. So if anybody in the home sees anything weird up in the sky, please let me know by tagging me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. I'm at Copperfield. So let me know if you've seen any of our rehearsals accidentally, because I'd love to see what's going on.
Something weird's going on, and the elites are using Copperfield to try to hide it. Put some chats. Let's start some chat and talk about this, guys.
Today I'm going to give a definitive.
Think about it. Smoke and mirrors, bro. They trying to distract us, bro, once again. But look, let me know. Are y'all falling for that? Are y'all falling for that? We seen the little weird star chasing the moon, right? Is that what they're talking about? Or the face next to the goddamn moon? But I really think that they're talking about the star, and when the moon was moving away from that little star or ship, whatever that thing was. Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Did y'all see it? Y'all have seen it on these videos, but have you seen it in person? It's a little weird, but it's like, bro, they doing whatever they can do to keep you away from it. They're blocking the sun. They're trying to give an explanation about some rehearsal with trying to block the moon. Like, you trying to block the moon too? That's crazy. Trying to assault our intelligence.
Synopsis on an extrapolation of events that must take place before the year 2030 that leads up to the abomination of desolations. FEMA took over when Trump signed the National Emergency Declaration, which suspends the Constitution under the Piscean Age, which is ruled by Neptune. And Neptune, which is the pitchfork, which is acclimated to the Great Deceiver. And the Great Deceiver is ruled under a covenant contract made with the Archons, right? So this is why you're having a transmutation of power, right? The best way to understand that the United States is a corporation, you go to the 27 CFR 72.11 that's connected to the 1913 Federal Reserve Act, right? So when you had the Social Security Act that was implemented after the stock market crash in 1929, this is when they turned American citizens into humanoid real estate, because there's no intrinsic resource such as gold being backed by the money system, right? Being backed by the Federal Reserve. So it's basically fiat currency. So the United States is basically $33 trillion in debt to the international banking system, right? Everybody who has Social Security numbers is collateral to the United States corporation. So in order to suspend that debt, the $33 trillion, you have to create a form of depopulation that's acclimated to FEMA, right? Order 11051 specifies the responsibility of the Office of Emergency Planning and gives authorization to put all executive orders in effect in times of increased international tensions and economic or financial crisis. We are in that right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not by coincidence that all this stuff is being facilitated by FEMA, by the United Nations, by the BRICS nation, because it's all connected to the energy grid. Because when the grid goes down, that's when the planet is in a state of destabilization. No water, no internet, no things of that nature, no ability to facilitate your own produce and resources, right? In order to have some type of self-preservation to get through the calamity and the abomination of desolation, right? All these things must come to pass before the year 2030. You see what I'm saying? Because like I said, there's an extrapolation of events that must take place. This is your so-called 7-year tribulation period, right?
Think about it.
I'm looking for some rest, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps rolling, on down to San Antonio, on down to San
Despite all the extraordinary efforts, the government and health system workers are still struggling to bend the curve of growing cases caused by the latest variant of the virus. 5 more people died today, and 30 million tested positively. Citizens are now required to wear masks when they step out to the balconies of their isolation facilities, and take them off only when they are back to the safety of their rooms. Stay compliant. Stay isolated. Stay safe. And now, on to other news. As the whole planet went on the righteous crusade against climate change and global warming, we are excited to spread the word about another successful project. As science tells us, during the night, plants release CO2 into the atmosphere. CO2 is a powerful greenhouse gas that dramatically contributes to global warming. But don't worry. Almost 100,000 square miles of South American rainforest has been cleared, and this area is used to construct one of the largest solar panel fields in the world that will provide us with a tremendous amount of clean energy. We will keep fighting the deadly forests and defeat climate change. That is all for today.
Best of your dome.
The Godfather movie is banned from our database for misrepresentation and stereotypization of the Italian community. Pulp Fiction movie is banned from our database for excessive violence and racist content. The movie 1984 never existed.
And now, on to other news. Say goodbye to cows and beef. As you might know, cows and livestock agriculture in general is a source of methane, a powerful greenhouse gas. Cows fart, and the temperature on Earth rises 1 degree with each cow fart, contributing to global warming. This is why the authorities started a cow extermination program, and today the last herd of cows has been dealt with. The Earth has officially become a cow-free planet, and climate change is finally under control. You might get concerned, where would we obtain our proteins from? Chicken and pork are not commonly accessible products, and beef is gone now. Do not worry. Hundreds of alternative protein manufacturing facilities have been constructed on each continent. They process thousands of tons of protein-rich food. This alternative food contains way more protein than beef. It is cheap to cultivate, and it doesn't contribute to global warming. Kudos to science and green agenda. That is all for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's news.
Bruce Kowalski, your monthly universal basic income has been deposited into your account. For more information, press details. You have been paid 2,000 central bank digital tokens. The following fees are being deducted: accommodation fee, food ration fee, recycling fee, clean energy fee, personal greenhouse gas emissions fee, climate change fee, diversity fee. Your current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens, and if not spent, it will expire in 7 days. Important announcement.
Dear residents of the quarantine facility number 89, great news.
Here at Nova Gene Labs, we grant you a chance to participate in the trials of our new drug, which has been developed by our research team. This drug is absolutely safe and will bring the end to the deadly virus we are all fighting together for the last several years. Those of you who chose to participate will get a significant social credit score boost. As the result, you will be relocated to a superior isolation facility, receive a higher universal basic income, and become eligible for an improved food ration. Should you choose to participate in the Nova Gene Labs clinical trials program, our specialists will visit you within the next few hours, make an injection, and will be daily monitoring your condition online. Your participation is very important to us and the rest of the world.
Make a difference. Follow the science and make the right choice. Nova Gene Labs is not responsible for any side effects, injuries, or death followed after the injection.
Think about it, man. We talked about all this stuff. That's just wild, ain't it? All right, hold on.
Human is another interesting word. It appears nowhere in.
And we gotta think, bro. Like, look, this is gonna be like getting to the end of this, but this is gonna really bring it all together. And what y'all gonna have to understand, like, this warfare isn't just on one group of people. This is few controlling the masses. Now, my question to you is, you know, are you gonna do your part? Share these videos, have these conversations down below, and let's get our minds together. Let's get our energy together, and let's move forward together. Real talk. Like, it ain't, and we don't have no room for fighting and stuff like that no more. People are playing with us. Do you consider yourself to be intelligent, or, you know, like intelligent? Together, we're big brained together. I can't do this by myself. You can't do it by yourself, but together, bro, we can do anything that we want. And y'all have to understand that, man. Understand.
Bible, but you look up the definition of human in Black's Law, and it says sea monster.
Why?
And so you flip to monster, and you look up the definition for monster, and it says one that cannot own or inherit property.
Why?
Now, all governments have human resource departments, and
why?
All corporations have human resource departments. Isn't that interesting? Job is another interesting definition. Job is defined as public business for private dishonest gain. Is the definition of job.
Keep watching. Check this out.
But you look up the definition of human in Black's Law, and it says.
So while I was doing my morning browsing, I came across this video and I did some research of my own. So let me show you guys what I found. As you can see from the Ballantines Law Dictionary 1948 edition, human being is defined as follows: sea monster. From the same dictionary, monster is defined a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. So I dug a little bit deeper, and here's what I found. So I'll probably be making a part 2 for this, but at the bottom you see a legally generated artificial person has no substance, no body, no brain, no consciousness, no heart, no energy, no spirit, no soul. It is a mere legal persona in the fictional theater of commerce, which is prescribed imaginary roles played by actors giving a performance. That blows my mind right there. If you know, you know. If you understand, you understand. If you receive, you receive. You feel me? It's one of those messages. Like, if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Okay, I want you.
It's a lot to deal with. We're going to end it on that one right there, y'all. If you get the message, you get the message. If you don't, then you got to rewatch this video, man, and go out here and do some research. Look, I'm not here to give you every little bit and piece because, honestly, I don't have every little last bit in peace. I have a lot of information stored in this thinker up here, but at the same time, you know, together I learn from you guys as well. I'm not just on here preaching and nothing like that, but I look at the comments. I do my own research too. If somebody brings up a good point, I'm receptive to information. You know, like my thing is just taking that step, one step closer to the truth and to our real purpose, you know. So it's not all about, you know, everybody, or you're the most knowledgeable person, boom boom. I don't care about none of that stuff. I just care about having these conversations with y'all and us continuing to build and get an understanding for who we are. I think the more that we lie to each other, the more that we get mad at each other, and you want to be ignorant and in your feelings and stuck in your ways, that's how we get stuck in the lower levels. That's how we get stuck not progressing. We have to be more accepting of our differences and, you know, understand what each other has been going through. So I've taken a lot of time and try to understand what collectively we have been going through together, and therefore once we figure those things out, we can then grow. It's a lot of us out here that hate each other for, you know, the stuff that we've been through. I don't blame you, but we have to raise our vibrations past that and higher than that. For me personally, I don't hate anybody. I have nothing but love, but at the same time, I treat people on an energy basis. All skin folk ain't your kinfolk either. That goes for black, white, Asian, whatever you want to be. Purple, blue, green, blue. But, you know, that goes for everybody. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. We're not all the same, and I don't treat you like that. I think, you know, that's just, you know, beneath me at this point in my life. I think when you get older, you start to understand things at a different level. I come too far to hate. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always ended my videos like this since the beginning of my YouTube journey. I always say, and I'm going to stand on that, like always. But look, y'all remember to tribe up, man, and do your own research and just let me know what y'all find out here in the world. This channel is for us. This channel is for us to grow. So share it with your friends, your family. Ooh. Friends, family, everybody. But look, everybody's welcome to this channel. That people that just want to, you know, learn and, you know, evolve together, you know, this is the place for you. And I do appreciate y'all, and that's why I continue to do these videos and I stay consistent doing these videos, because we're in this together, like I keep saying. So I'm not gonna slack for y'all. Y'all don't slack for me. Y'all make sure that y'all smash that like button. Let's continue to grow. Together we rise. Like I always say, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out though. Blah.